managing the social media. Thanks for recording. So you're the expert. You keep your Mara groups sustainable and you keep your pages unique and inspire people every day, which is amazing because you have been recruiting people online and in person and getting people to attend your events using in Mara Inspo, so that's amazing. And also don't worry if you go through phases of not posting regularly. Social media is hard work, and the Mara team and National Mara are always here to help when things get busy, so please never hesitate to contact me or anyone else on the Mara committee. Okay, so we're going to go through some brand rules. So the Mara brand is all about the look, the logo, and the language. And the Mara brand should be easily recognizable to your audience. And the brand also includes the tone that you should speak to your audience, which is professional, but also laid back and warm. So that we can reach students all across the country and especially in your university. And we encourage you to be inventive, thoughtful, straightforward, inclusive, personal, and charismatic. So those are just some of the words to describe what the Mara brand is like. And this makes it very distinct from the Anthony Nolan brand, which is more professional and would try to reach more adults and people working in professional settings rather than students. And an example of this is that the Mara brand is more about using emojis, faces of volunteers, and memes as well. So summary is that the Mara brand is really, really unique, and you should be proud and use that to your advantage to recruit people to the stem cell register and also fundraise. So it's important to think about who you'll be communicating with. So just a few people that you might come across whilst managing social media. You've got volunteers, societies, uni staff, and people with experiences with blood cancer and their friends and families. So when you're writing a social media post or posting something on social media, you should think about who you want to target the post towards. And you also should think about what you'll be talking about and how you'll be talking about it. So, for example, when you want to talk about patient appeals, we encourage you to be warm and emotive and use that sort of language. When encouraging men to sign up, we've seen that being bold and inspiring works really well. When raising money, we try to make that empowering and encouraging for people to, donate a pound or two to your cause. And also increasing diversity, you want to be emotive, inspiring, and with a little bit of urgency, because we want to increase diversity as quickly as possible on the register so that we can help more people with blood cancer. So feel free to take pictures of these slides, by the way, but these will be recorded, so you can watch these back. But these are some phrases that we advise to use and not to use. So everything in green is what we encourage, like definitely use these terms. And those are terms like lifesaver, life-saving stranger, which are both kind of like saying, a lifesaver includes people who have donated money to Anthony Nolan, and people who are volunteering for Mara. So these are people who are directly helping to save a life. And also this would include donors as well, stem cell donors. And we also encourage you to say save someone like, and then name of a person who has blood cancer. For example, say someone like Shahira. The like here is very important, and we'll get onto that in a second, why we want to say like and not definitely save Shahira's life. And And then, yeah, we've also got saving the lives of people with blood cancer and transplant recipient as well. And patient here is in yellow because we recognize that it might not be the best term to describe people with blood cancer. We prefer to say people, but sometimes it is used. For example, when we say patient appeal, when we're directly referring to one of the Anthony Nolan appeals that we have. So maybe try to use the yellow terms less often. And the terms in red are ones that we advise you not to use at all. So that's, like I mentioned before, save names life. So we don't want to pinpoint it on one patient. We want to say someone like Veer or Shahira because we don't know if we're going to save their life for definite, but we could potentially save other people's lives who are going through the same thing. And the other red term is fighting, beating suffering from blood cancer. We advise not to use terms that are more aggressive, just because people with blood cancer have preferred not to use those terms when talking about what they're going through. And some more phrases. So with the green, we've got potential lifesaver, without you, there's no cure, and you could save a life. So these conditional terms are really important because we don't want people to sign up thinking they're definitely going to save a life, because unfortunately that's not true. And without you, there's no cure is kind of like the Marrow and Anthony Nolan slogan, which is quite emotive and tends to capture a lot of people's attention. So we tend to use that quite a lot in social media content. I've got bone marrow transplant in yellow because we try not to use it. We try to say stem cell transplant, but when, for example, doing a press release, you want to be able to get the message across really easily. So that's why a lot of people will recognize bone marrow instead of stem cell transplant. So that's why in a lot of newspaper articles and things, if marrow groups have done a press release, you might want to say bone marrow transplant instead. So I think depending on the situation, you can choose whether or not to use that statement. And then again, we don't want to use definitive words such as you can and will save a life, because that's not guaranteed. But yeah, I hope those are helpful. So onto the logo. This is just a reminder that the brand on the right, and the logo on the right and the slogans on the right are the ones that we should use, and Be a Match, Save a Life is no longer the Marrow slogan. These are just examples. Oxford Marrow do have the right logo. These are just complete examples. So yeah, I'm not calling you out, Oxford. And the color palette is black, blue, and this particular color code, and white. So those are easily recognizable colors for Marrow, and they're distinct from the Anthony Nolan green. And that's why we like to use it, because it differentiates students and their life-saving work from Anthony Nolan as a whole. And the font that we use is Gotham or Arial if you can't get access to Gotham. It's actually really easy to download Gotham. All you have to do is Google download the Gotham font, and then you can upload it to your Canva account. If you need any help doing that, just let me know. I'm happy to help you, but it's also fine if you use Arial as well. Okay, so I've spoken about marrying online in general terms, but we're going to go into detail about how to marrow online and make sure you make the most of the resources on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So this is Birmingham Marrow's profile, which is a great example of of how you could potentially set out your Instagram account. So Birmingham have made their account a business account, which helps them look at insights and see how many people are sharing their posts and how many people are looking at their posts and liking them. And it will help you to decide which posts work and which posts don't. So we recommend using a business account. They've also got a really fun bio there, which is a part of the Maro brand because it's really fun and quite student-like, I think, and it would hopefully attract a lot of students. They've also got highlights here, which is really good to kind of summarize what the charity is all about and help someone who's just visiting their account on a whim have a look at everything that they're doing and hopefully might be inspired to get involved. And they've also got a link tree, which is a really great website to add all of your links onto one page, and you can just keep that link in your bio forever and just add all your multiple links onto your link tree, and then you can take them off whenever you need as well. So that's a really good resource as well. So in order to keep engagement high, we found that sharing different types of content, such as videos, especially Instagram Reels now, infographics, patient appeals, and appreciative and celebrative posts, and also memes are really good for both Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I would say patient appeals is really good for Twitter because you can kind of say a few words about the patient appeal and then put a link to maybe a web page on Anthony Nolan which explains more about the person with blood cancer. And I would say memes are really good for Instagram because we've got Mara Meme Mondays. I'm not sure if you know about that, but it's every Monday Mara Groups will post a meme about donor recruitment or fundraising or both. So that's really good as well to get engagement. And the way that the Instagram algorithm works as well, Reels are really good because I think they just come up to the top of your feed. So definitely try and post some Reels. So I'm not sure if you know, but National Mara have a TikTok account, and we've got lots of different TikToks on there made by Neela mostly. So you're definitely free to download those and post them on your own accounts to get more engagement because they're all really funny. And yeah, I just love scrolling through them. So you definitely should take a look. I'll pop the name in the chat later, the username as well.
Or make your own and don't repost the ones I made. That would also be highly encouraged.
Yeah, but I mean, either or is great. So also we are asking you guys to ask people and students to follow your social media account in return for freebies. I've done this a lot at freshers fairs. It usually gets a lot of followers because who doesn't want freebies, and it's a really good way to get people following your account and then advertising an event straight after. It's usually been quite successful in my experience, and we also encourage you to tag other societies in posts. Yeah, I think just spamming, but don't be too annoying about it. I think like once in a while, if it's relevant to a certain society, definitely tag them and see if they'll share your posts as well. Another thing which is really cool is sharing pictures and videos of your events and meetings. This is nice because you can just show people what you're working towards and get people invested in what planning you're doing for your Maro group. So definitely posting pictures of meetings I think is really nice as well. It's something definitely National Maro should practice. I think Maro groups would also be interested in knowing whenever we're having meetings and what we're planning and things. So I'll definitely start doing that more. And we also think that you can increase interaction with quizzes and polls. I think Surrey Maro did a lot of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was really cool. And also remember, stories are only seen by your top followers on Instagram. So that's more about reaching your warm audience, which is people who are always liking and looking at your posts. So that's more about kind of keeping that engagement as well. Oh, I've gone backwards. Okay. So this, and now I'm going to talk about getting creative on Canva, which is probably my favorite part of being social media rep for National Maro. So Canva, you may already know, is a graphic design website. So you can make posters, infographics, videos, and presentations on there. It's all you need to make anything really. I don't only use it for Mara, I use it for uni and other things as well. And it's great. And design templates are available and time provided. Actually, don't know what time it is. We will be exploring some of these templates and kind of making our own posts, maybe. And each Mara group should now have a Canva Pro account. So Canva Pro usually you have to pay for, but because Mara is a charity, Canva have kindly given all Mara groups free Canva Pro accounts. If you don't have one, let me know and we'll get one sorted for you. And the great thing about Canva as well is that you can upload your brand font and colors and also your logo as well. So yeah, you can just log on to Canva, then just start making things instead of faffing about with, you know, different colors every time you want to make a poster. So that's really good as well. So a little bit about managing your time, because obviously social media is a very time-consuming role, and it's really important to know that, you know, it's not always like that. If you are organized and you manage your time, it's definitely manageable with your degree. So my top tips are to use Canva templates because they're super quick and you can just switch up the color and then add the text and then you're good. There's also scheduling sites like Hootsuite and Facebook Business. Hootsuite is the one that I mainly use because it lets me post simultaneously on Facebook and Instagram. However, the con of Hootsuite is that you can't post videos. I think if you want to schedule videos, use Facebook Business. And also we encourage that you use SharePoint resources. We're usually updating our resources on the SharePoint 365. Please let me know if you don't know how to access that as well. So we try to cut the time out for you with our big campaigns such as Maromance and Diversity Week as well. So please have a look if you're planning any events for those campaigns soon. And we also recommend to create resources from information on the Anthony Northern website. There's a plethora of information on the Anthony Northern website that I use to create content for the Maro social media account. And there's some really great gems on there. So definitely have a look. And I definitely learned a lot from the website. And also don't hesitate to ask for help. Usually social media coordinators or anyone who's managing social media usually feel like it's only up to them. Definitely ask your committee to help you with content creating and also give them tasks to do with social media that are also related to their role. For example, you could ask your donor recruitment coordinator to make a post about, you know, donor recruitment facts or something like that. So yeah, you can definitely spread and delegate some tasks to your committee. And also you can, like I said before, you can ask help from me and anyone from the Maro team or the National Maro Committee as well. So yeah, before we get on to the Canva activity, does anyone have any questions? Oh, yeah, Josh.
Oh, I've been unmuted the whole time, my bad.
No worries.
Just a quick question about what's the one? Patient appeals is the one that I kind of struggle with. So are there like examples on the SharePoint where which I can use as like a template to base future posts off?
Okay, so with patient appeals, so we advise that you kind of just use the resources that are already provided on the SharePoint rather than making your own, because the ones that are on 365 have already been approved by Anthony Nolan and the family as well. So we try not to encourage making posts about patient appeals. So you're free to like download the posts from the SharePoint about the patient appeals because they're already pre-made posters on those, and then maybe write your own caption, or there might be captions available online as well, on the 365 and on the Anthony Nolan Instagram. So with patient appeals, you wouldn't really need to make a poster yourself. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it kind of takes the stress from that. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think sometimes it's really hard to kind of figure out how you're going to word the caption yourself. So definitely looking at what National Mara have posted and also Anthony Nolan as well. It was really helpful. So definitely you're free to like copy any of National Mara's captions. But yeah, I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? Got someone said something in the chat. Oh, it's just a heart. Okay. Okay, so I was wondering, because we don't have many people here, so the Canva activity was going to be a group activity where maybe we collectively try to make a poster on a campaign of your choice, maybe Maramance, it could be a DR or a fundraiser. So yeah, I mean, it would be really nice if you guys could turn on your mics and we could get creating. How long do we have, Neela?
We have another 25 minutes, so plenty of time.
Yeah, we've got loads of time. We can stop recording as well now, I think.
Sure, 1 second.